and welcome to the first IATEFL Poland webinar. Thank you very much for joining this session. My name is Koziol. I'm a Strategic Projects Director at LTC, and today I will have the great pleasure to tell you about a program which we run. It's a program for teachers who want to develop professionally and may want to think about becoming speaking examiners on the way to professional development. LTC is a language school and an examination center. And today I would like to focus on this second part of our professional activity, that is delivering exams and allowing candidates to get an internationally recognized certificate. We're a very big examination center. We're still growing. We deliver thousands of exams annually, and we have many language exams in our portfolio: LinguaSkill, Certificate of Polish as a Foreign Language, Get a Pro test, which is a test in German, to name only a few. But today I would like to tell you about our biggest brands, Cambridge exams and IELTS. Cambridge exams are all these exams ranging from YLE starters through B2 first up to C2 proficiency. As a examination center, we've got the platinum status, as you can see here. This is because we deliver lots of exams, and the quality, the kind of service that we give to our test takers is on a very high level. We're very proud of this status. And IELTS is an internationally recognized exam. Probably it's one of the exams that is taken more frequently globally, most frequently globally. And in Poland is becoming more and more popular because, as you may know, Polish students, secondary school graduates, they think about continuing their education abroad, and they may need IELTS certificate or Cambridge English certificate for the recruitment process. Currently, our team of speaking examiners consists of over 50 examiners. But just as I said, we are growing, and we'll be happy to see new additions to this great team. And this is the opportunity we can offer to you today. So I'll be talking about the benefits of becoming speaking examiners. I'll tell you where to start, what you need to do first if you'd like to do it. I'll tell you about the support our examination center offers. I'll tell you what the training looks like, and I'll tell you about details of the job. And then finally, I'll tell you about further development possible with our center once you become a speaking examiner. So first, let's talk about the benefits. Probably I'm the best person to tell you about it because I've walked this path myself. I started as a teacher, and then after a few years of teaching at different levels, different age groups, I was offered this opportunity, which I decided to explore, and I've been doing that ever since. So apart from being a teacher, I'm also an examiner, both for Cambridge and IELTS, and also Polish as a foreign language. So I know from experience that this is a great step in your professional development. So first of all, you're using the skills, abilities, experience that you already have for something completely new. Being a teacher is an exciting adventure. It's motivating, it's challenging, it's absolutely great, but you know perfectly well that after years of doing this job, you can feel a bit burned out. You may need some new challenges, and I think becoming a speaking examiner offers just that. So you're using the knowledge you've already possessed, but at the same time, this training can give you opportunity to deeply understand what assessment is and how to use it, how to do it in the right way. It will also allow you to give constructive feedback to your students, structured and really valuable. then you will probably notice that what you get in return is also transformation of your teaching, because doing this training, learning about assessment criteria, learning about giving feedback will also have impact on the way you teach. If you haven't exam preparation yet, it may turn out that this is what you want to add to your portfolio. If you've been doing that before, then probably you'll be able to do it even more effectively. And last but not least, this is also opportunity to get some additional income. You don't have to resign from the job you're doing right now. You can do it alongside your current professional activity. So now, where to begin? Well, I would suggest you should begin with some soul searching and some reflection. It's really, really important, because you don't want to go to your first session and then say, no, it's not for me. After going through all the training and all the administration that is related to the process. And we, as an examination center, we also definitely wouldn't like that. We're looking for building a strong, committed team that is involved in what's happening at the examination center. So I suggest you think, so here are some questions that I prepared for you that you may want to consider before deciding if you want to join this program, if you want to get in touch with us, if you want to consider becoming a speaking examiner. So first, think about your motivation. Is it just, this additional income that might be attracting you to doing this job? Or is there something more, right? Why would you like to become an examiner? How can you align this with other professional goals you might have? What do you know about assessment criteria? Are you working with assessment criteria? Whichever they are. When you train to become a speaking examiner, you learn the framework. So Cambridge has a different framework from IELTS, and you will learn all of that. But are you working with assessments right now? Are you able to apply criteria? Are you confident when assessing your students? Then on a more practical side, do you have time for that? Just as I said, you do not need to resign from your current job. Probably you'll be doing it alongside other professional activity, but still you'll need time for that. Lots of testing, lots of examining is happening over the weekend. So, it can be tempting, well, at the weekend, I probably can find some time, but then there are some personal responsibilities. So I suggest, you should think about that as well. And then, do you see becoming an examiner as personal growth, professional growth? Would you be willing to improve your teaching practice? Would you be open for that? Are you able to and willing to implement whatever you learn in transforming your teaching, maybe, and implementing that in your classroom everyday work? Then, do you like focusing on details? Do you pay attention to details? Assessment involves a lot of that. Are you able to accept feedback about your work, feedback about your assessment? Because this is part of that job as well. It happens regularly. And then, are you able to cooperate with another organization, with another company? So examination center, namely. There are some expectations and requirements which we created over the years, but there are also some requirements imposed by Cambridge to ensure compliance of delivery of the exams. Are you comfortable working with some structured guidelines and assessment rubrics? So I suggest doing this sort of soul searching and reflecting on these issues can help you decide if this is something you'd like to pursue. And just to be absolutely clear, you do not need to answer yes to all these questions. This is just opportunity for you to just make sure that this is something you want to do. Once you decided that, yes, I'd like to know a bit more about that. Yes, I think that might be something for me. Yes, I see this as opportunity to grow and develop. Please get in touch with us, because that's the first step. Let us know that you're there, that you're interested in becoming a speaking examiner. Is this program for everyone? No, it's not. We're looking for teachers who currently work in educational institutions. So we're currently looking for teachers who work at schools. It could be any school, primary, secondary, university, or a private language school. But it's important for us that you're already working in some kind of a system, where assessment and feedback are used. Once you get in touch, we'll try to get to know you a bit better. We'll ask you to send your CV and tell us a little bit about your motivation. And then we will invite you to the training. The training happens once a year. It's run regularly, but it's only once a year. So probably there'll be some time before the training session. And this is a time which we'd like you to use to promote the idea of certification in your institution. Why? Again, we're looking for people who believe that certification makes sense. We're looking for people who see value in helping their students get internationally recognized certificates. And we're also looking for people, for teachers, who will be willing to encourage their students to register for exams with our center. But again, I would like to make it very, very clear, this is not a condition and this is not a requirement. The training for speaking examiner is completely free of charge for you. Of course, there are some costs involved, but these costs are fully covered by the examination center. The initial training and any other training you will need to take in the future. So the cost is all on us, but we expect strong cooperation here, and we'll be exploring these possibilities. Sometimes the order is completely different, because we get teachers to contact us wishing to become speaking examiners because they've already run preparation courses, exam preparation courses at their schools, because they had students wishing to take exams, language exams, English exams, and registering at different centers, various centers of their choice. And it's fine as well. So whatever the order is, it's fine. I just want to give you an overview what kind of teachers can become speaking examiners at our center. And now you may want to know a bit more, what do we mean by promote? And again, there are no strict requirements, guidelines, or rules about that. It could be anything. So just to give you an overview, I can tell you that what we're doing currently for the schools and institutions, in cooperation with the teachers who want to become speaking examiners or have become speaking examiners with our center. So first of all, we give you a lot of support, so it's not you who's doing that. We're offering different kinds of training for teachers working at that school or institution, and students, to tell them about the idea of certification, to tell them about specific exams, to tell them about the specific aspect of exam, whatever's needed. We do it with our trainers do it. So this is something that we can support schools and institutions with. We also run information meetings for parents if necessary. We have a whole selection of preparation materials that we can support you with and your institution with. Both digital, both course book, recommendation of course books, and any kind of preparation materials that you can think of. We provide you with lots of administrative support, starting from teaching you about our registration system, through attending award ceremonies when the head of our examination center attends such an event and presents candidates from your institutions with their certificates to celebrate their achievement. We're running different events for teachers, including our own conference. We're running special events for schools and teachers and students. For example, last year we had a huge event at British Embassy with trophies, diplomas. Schools can get also some marketing support from us. They can get status of a preparation center, which means that they will receive Cambridge logo, which they can put on their website, promotional materials, and a special plaque, which can be mounted on the wall of the school for others to see. So there are lots and lots of things that we can support you with when it comes to the idea of promoting the idea of certification in your organization. And then there's the training. So once again, the training is absolutely free for you. Before you attend the training session, your CV will be reviewed by our team leader. So team leader is sort of a master examiner. This is someone who is responsible for recruiting and training new speaking examiners, but also for compliance of test delivery and assessment. So after your CV is reviewed, and in the review process, this team leader will be looking at your qualifications, so the education you got, at your experience, and also your current your work record. After that, the team leader will most likely invite you to an interview. The interview will be run in English. And during this interview, team leader will assess your level of English. But apart from that, we'll focus on your motivation, we'll tell you about different aspects of the job, we'll tell you about administrative requirements, and of course, answer any questions you might have about the whole process. Then you receive a draft agreement, confidentiality agreement, code of conduct that you will need to agree to before you can attend the training session. The training session itself is an all-day event consisting of two parts. Practical part, where you learn about the assessment criteria for the exam you'll be qualifying for. And now, in case of Cambridge, you qualify for a certain level. So you need to take a separate training for every level you want to examine for. So for example, there's a separate training for B2, separate training for C1, C2, etc., etc. So in this theoretical part, you learn about assessment criteria. You'll be working on understanding them and applying them. And then there's practical part, where you can try assessing yourself. So we'll invite mock candidates, and you will be trying to run the session as an examiner and then assess the candidates. The training sessions are conducted in small groups, so there's lots of opportunity for discussion, exchanging opinions, and working on things like that. And then this is not the end. because after training session, you receive your examiner ID, but you're not allowed to examine yet. You'll be allowed to examine after you attend certification session. And certification session, again, consists of two parts: theoretical, which will be focusing on one selected aspect of the exam you're certifying for, and then there will be the certification part, which is actually a kind of exam, because what will happen, you'll watch a speaking exam sample and you'll need to assess it. If your assessment is accurate, it means you're fully qualified to start examining, and the next step will be receiving invitation to examine from our examination center. If for some reason, but it doesn't happen very often, your assessment during the certification session is not fully accurate, then there's another attempt. And then, you're ready to examine. Before I tell you about these different aspects of the job, there's one more thing you need to know, that on your first session, you will be monitored by the team leader, which means that the team leader will come to the session and observe both the delivery, so, technical aspects of how you run the exam, and also the assessment. And then you'll get feedback on your performance. This kind of assessment happens once a year. So it's always on the first session for the new examiner, and then during a selected session once every year you're examining. When you're going to examine? Well, this is totally up to you. The way it works at our center is that at the end of each month, you receive information about sessions scheduled for the next month. So now in December, our speaking examiners have received information about sessions scheduled for January. And in reply, you just let us know when you're available, for which sessions you're available. You can be available for all of them, one of them, or none of them, depending on your schedule. How often do you need to examine? Well, so it's strongly recommended that you try to examine at least once a month, at least every 2 months. It's important that you examine actually as often as possible, especially if you're a new examiner, in order to practice. But again, it's up to you. If you don't examine for a year, for example, then you lose disqualification and you're not able to examine unless you take another training session. How much you need to examine? Again, it's totally up to you. There are some guidelines from Cambridge about the amount of time that you can examine, after which you need to have a break. But all of these things, all of these details you learn in the training session. How much refers also to the money you get for doing this kind of job. And again, it depends. I can't tell you exactly, because there are different rates for IELTS, different rates for Cambridge, and within Cambridge group, the higher the level, the higher the rate. So the rates differ. Is it attractive? Well, I think it's attractive enough for many people to do it and keep doing it, because most of the examiners we have are examiners who've been working with us for a very long time. Once you qualify as a speaking examiner and you become one, Every year you participate in a standardization session, and this is obligatory. Standardization session is opportunity for you to discuss different aspects of examining with other speaking examiners, and also to do some work prepared by our team leader. You have access to all sorts of training that we as Lang run. This training is not only exam related, it's also teaching related. We have workshops run by experts from Cambridge, both on exam preparation, on exam delivery, but also on the methodology of teaching in general. And then if you decide that this is something you like and this is something you want to do, you have opportunity, and this is a natural path for most of our examiners, to take next trainings for next levels of Cambridge exams, or to become an IELTS examiner, or the other way around. So, to sum it up, this program that we're offering as an examination center is for school, university teachers. It's for someone who wants to develop. It's for someone who believes and wants to promote the idea of certification. And it's for someone who likes or thinks that assessment might be something they would like to do in the future. So, if you think this is something for you, feel free to get in touch with us. We'll be very happy to hear from you and tell you more. No strings attached. You can just drop us a line to say that you attended this session and you'd like to know more. We'll be happy to meet you and answer any questions you might have about that. And finally, I would like to say a few words about the raffle that's going to happen at the end of this event today and our contribution. So Lang is also an organization that supports teachers on many levels, and also by running our own conference for language teachers called Twist. It's called Twist because we try this to be conference with a twist, is slightly different than other conferences for teachers. And we try to achieve that by inviting as speakers, not just people who are methodologists or who can share their ideas and experience about teaching as such, teaching foreign languages, but we're also inviting speakers from other walks of life. So, for example, we had a neurosurgeon, we had a sports coach, we had an expert in ecology. Believe me, all these people have lots of interesting things to say, which can be inspiring for teachers, which can share ideas that teachers may want to integrate in their techniques, in their methods they are using with their students in the classroom. So only last week on Saturday, we had the last edition of our Twist conference. There were 7 sessions, 7 interesting sessions, as we have heard. And the lucky winners of this prize will get recordings of the session of the conference, which happened on Saturday. It was the 11th edition, so we've been doing that for 11 years now. And on top of that, they will get a ticket for next year's event, which will happen in December. So good luck, fingers crossed, and we're waiting for you to get in touch with us. Thank you very much. And enjoy the rest of the conference, of course.